But Amy, you've just changed so incredibly much and just blossomed so much since that first challenge group. And Amy's currently a 1-star diamond. Yes. And I mean, on the rise, she's got an amazing team who's doing some awesome things. And she's down in Texas, and she's got 3 kiddos. And she's a fitness instructor and a Beachbody coach, and just a fabulously genuine woman with like the biggest heart. And I just love her and love working with her. And so she's going to tell us a little bit about her story, and also share some tips of the trade with hosting shake and shares at your home, because this has been kind of something that Amy, I kind of think of when I think of a shake and share, I think of you. So you're obviously good at it and know about it, and we're ready to learn from you. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to you, but I'm so grateful to have you on this call. You're a joy. So
oh, thank you, Jessica. And it's a joy knowing you. Jessica and I, because, you know, our friendship and our relationship is a fine example for all of you guys of what challenge groups can do. I mean, you know, the connections you make. And yeah, over 3 years ago. And we bonded, and we've seen each other on trips, and we see each other just about every week, you know, or some, you know, in a video or whatever. It's been great. I don't want to keep you because I know it's late. I'll start with my story, although it has, it's, you know, the ending's good, but it was a rocky road. Kind of my background a little bit is I have a master's degree in education and instructional technology, and I used to be a teacher. I used to work as a technical writer and trainer in educational software, and I was a consultant before I became a stay-at-home mom. And like many stay-at-home moms, after I had my kids, I was just in that like, oh God, there's got to be more to life than this, you know, kind of mode. And I was overweight, and I was tired, and I was facing a lot of medical problems. I was pre-diabetic. I had indigestion. I always do this TMI thing with my whole digestive tract. I was like, had chronic yeast infections, and I was constipated, to be quite honest, because of all of that, low energy, and skin rashes, and I don't know, you know, list can go on. But I had migraines, weekly migraines. And so I knew that after my 3rd kid was a surprise, and I just knew that I had to do something to change that. And so I was seeking, and I always say, it always catches me in the throat whenever I say I was seeking, because I was looking for more than I realized at the time. I was looking to get healthy and fit, and you know, God brought into my life my mutual friend of Jessica and I, Amanda Dewey, who invited me, just like you guys invite people all the time, to come join a challenge. And yes, I can tell you the story of how I lost 20 pounds in 60 days doing the Insanity Challenge group, and I went on to lose a total of 36 pounds in 5 months, and dropped from a size 14 to a 4. And then during that whole time, I started getting certifications in group fitness, and I started coaching because I was losing weight. People naturally said, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" So it was easy to share. It was easy for me to tell people what I was doing. It was working, and I believed in it. And I still, to this day, I'm just a firm believer in everything that Beachbody does, because they give you the full package of how we need to live healthy, with food, with nutrition, the supplements, obviously Shakeology, and exercise. I don't think you can take just one of those. If you take one of those out, then you're not going to get it. You have to have each piece to be healthy and fit for life. And so, you know, I sort of looked at it as this little side thing that I was doing. Beachbody kind of on the side to earn a little extra money, instructing to earn a little extra money. Hey, I get a free gym membership, you know, because I'm a teacher. But what most people didn't know at the time, and I could not share at the time, nor did Jessica know. Amanda's probably the only one in our group that knew that I was in a very abusive relationship with my husband at the time, and it was emotional. and it was mental mostly, but there was some physical. And after I had gotten healthy and fit, probably a little bit more than a year after we started our challenge, I was probably about a little more than a year after I started coaching. I kid you not that it's because of Beachbody and my instructing, my business that I had built at that point, that gave me at least a foundation to get out of that marriage and to feel like I could still be able to stay home with my kids, because that's all they've ever known, and build a life for them. And so, in all sincerity, Beachbody is my full-time job, and I do it to support me and my kids. I've been divorced November of 2013, so about a year and a half now, and life is good, you know. And more than just the fitness, we've talked about like the self-development and how important that is. And I cannot stress to you enough that if you must read self-development. I don't care, like for me, I started one book every other month or something, you know. It was hard for me to do one a month, but the more I did, the more mentally strong I've gotten, and I continue to believe in that is exercising your mind just like you exercise your body with workouts. So that's in a nutshell my story. And so yes, I'm a single mom of 3 kids. My daughter just turned 8 today, so I have a 10, 8, and 4-year-old. And going back to the Shake and Share, that's really that was sort of my bread and butter at the beginning of my career as a coach. And so I'm talking to you guys, you know, if this is, whether you want to start it now or you're a new coach, you need to try it, because there's a difference whenever you talk to people. And I had a Shake and Share today. I had 5 ladies come over. I was very excited because I moved about a year ago. And so I used to have them every month. I used to have one Shake and Share every month. And generally I would pick most of the time it was a Sunday afternoon, but because I was a stay-at-home mom, I would do sometimes during the day for like a play date kind of thing. So when you think about Shake and Share, just don't overthink it. Don't overthink it and don't overdo it. Okay, keep it real simple. I keep it casual. I make it, whenever I'm talking to people about it, I'm just like, oh, we're just getting together to chat. We're just going to hang out. Well, you know, I'll blend up a shake. You know, I just keep it real light and airy, and I don't make it serious. Just make it as fun and as light as you can. And don't feel like you have to go out and buy a bunch of food. Sometimes I've had nothing but shakes. And today I happened to I made a paleo granola dish, you know, for the group to try just for fun, because I was going to make it anyways. So I made that. And what you do is, like, as far as materials, I don't have them sitting out. I have done that, but you don't have to. Don't think you have to have stuff sitting out. Generally speaking, these are women I don't know. I've had some coaches. Laura's come to one sort of Shake and Share one time on a Friday night. It was kind of a get together, but I would say it was not like today. But they just come in, and if there's somebody I literally just have met in a group, I get to know them, and then I just ask them, so what interests you in meeting me in Shakeology and my challenge groups? And then stay real quiet and listen. Because they're going to talk, and they're going to share, and they're going to talk about their struggles with health and fitness. And it's sort of like counseling. You know, they're just going to kind of unload on you on what battles. And I just think about the ladies who came today. I had one lady who is currently drinking Shakeology, and she's lost, not with me, but through various programs, and now she has come to me because she's wanting to lose additional weight, but she's lost 159 pounds. And she's coming to me because she's wanting a change, do something different. And she comes to my body pump class, and it was great to hear her story. And it was great because she was talking about how wonderful Shakeology's been. So it just so happened, and she brought a friend with her, and that's how she came. And I always tell people, bring a friend. If they feel uncomfortable, bring a friend. I don't know. I just make it really laid back and easy. I usually blend up a shake how I drink it every day, and I tell them that. I say it's real simple: coconut water, a couple of cubes of ice, a scoop of chocolate Shakeology, and I blend it up, and then I pour it out into little cups for them to try. And so I had 5 ladies, and I literally used 1 scoop out of my own chocolate. That was it. Now, if somebody said, "Ew, I don't like it," then I will offer another flavor. And if somebody wants vegan, if they're really like, "Well, let me try the vegan," well, then I would, offer that. But like today, it was just 1 scoop, and they all tried it. And I have there's 3 ladies that are that they will sign on this month. They will join my next challenge. And I will tell you, closing ratio on a shake and share is generally about 99%. If somebody takes the time out of their day to come see you, and talk to you, and they probably spent close to 2 hours, they're pretty serious, so it's well worth it. So is it worth it? Yeah, it's worth it. It's worth your time. And you got to remember that people connect differently, and this is just another way for you to connect with them. Some people are more comfortable just chatting on Messenger, and some people like a phone call, and some people like that, personal interaction, and that gives you another way for you to connect with people. Okay, so y'all start asking me questions, because I don't know what else to share about it.
I have a question. How do you advertise for the Shake and Share, or get people interested and invite them to your home?
See, I knew I missed something. Thank you. I use the events in Facebook, and I create an event. And yeah, I go ahead and put my address there, and I put people in it to invite. But I don't stop there. I have groups, community groups, moms groups that I'm in, and I start promoting in there as well. Hey, I'm going to have this get together. If you're interested, let me know, and I'll add you to the invite. And when they do, I make note of any new potential customers, either if you have a spreadsheet, or I'm all pencil and paper. I look over here because I have a notebook full of names, and I write little notes and stuff. I also, this time, no, I haven't in the past because I haven't had to, but I am putting it on my timeline now that, hey, I'm having a get together. If you're interested, message me or comment below. I create excitement around it. So in my event, I post things in there as we're leading up to the event. Hey, I'm getting excited about meeting you guys on Sunday. This last week, since I'm starting the refresh tomorrow, I posted a picture of me with a refresh box, that I had posted on my timeline, and said, hey, I just got this in the mail. It's something that we could talk about if y'all want. And so, a lot of what we do as coaches is you're self-promoting yourself. So, being a product of the product, and that still goes along with this. So that's how do I private message? Not really. I will tag people in the invite. I'm trying to think. That probably if somebody said that they were coming, then I probably private messaged them. But this one I didn't. The one that I had today, I didn't private message anybody. Any other questions?
I have one, Amy.
Yes.
You started talking about like the types of materials that you have,
Yep.
but I didn't write anything down. Can you kind of go back to that a little bit?
Yes, thank you. I don't, when I have put out things, there's a booklet that comes with your Shakeology. I could go get it. You know what I'm talking about? I think most everybody gets it now, at least initially. That is a great book to have out on the table. I've had the calendar, the recipe calendar. I've had that out on the table. I've had an empty bag of Shakeology so people can look at the ingredients. I'm trying to think. It all is pretty much around Shakeology. And I have a bookcase that's just handy to my kids, like where everybody's hanging out in the kitchen breakfast nook. So the bookcase, if somebody brings up a program, like today they were asking about, one lady's doing the 21-day fix, and she had just ordered it on beachbody.com. And then she came because she's interested in Shakeology and she wanted to try it. So she wants to join my 21-day fix group. She already has it, but you know, I'm going to hopefully get her to buy Shakeology. And so I got the 21-day fix program. You know, I've got the book out, I got the containers, we start talking about it, we open up the book. Anyways, but I let the conversation lead in the direction as far as if somebody said, well, what about T25? Well, I'll go grab T25, you know? Or if I had most every program. One of the ladies was like, oh my God, you have every program. I said, well, almost, not quite. Because we were looking at them, you know, on my bookshelf. If I don't have it, just pull it up on your laptop, you know. You've got the on-demands. A lot of them are in there, but I didn't have to do that today. So I don't have a whole lot of material sitting out. I just don't want to intimidate people. I want them to talk to me. I want them to open up. I want it to be, I don't have anything sitting out except for maybe a few of those pamphlets that they can kind of pick up and look at if they want. But pretty much I want them to talk to me. You talk to me. Why are you here? You know, tell me a little bit about yourself. You know, I want them to feel comfortable because the rest will come. It's, you know, the health and fitness, it's going to come. And I will say this, whenever if I have one or two, it's not so hard, but like today I had 5, and the conversation can get a little off of your focus, right? So be aware that if you have a group of chatty ladies, you know, and they're really all chatting about this, that, you know how we can digress. We can go off on a squirrel. Just pull yourself back, and when there's an opportunity in the conversation, bring it back to what you're doing. Because I had in the course of these three particular ladies, you know, at the end, I'm telling each one of them this is your closing, what each one of them needs to do. You know, for you, I recommend the 21-day fix. And for you, since you already have the 21-day fix, we need to get you, I explain about, you know, ordering a challenge pack, and the others are listening, you know, so they're getting all this information about how, you know, signing up as the coach is you know, and I go into all of that information about, you know, getting the coach discount and what all that means, whatever each one of them needs, then I make sure that we address it. And today I didn't have anybody close today, but they said they would, you know, and I've reached out to each one of them via messenger, thank them for coming, you know, kind of thing, and then I'm going to check back in with them on ordering and getting signed up. So,
I had another question about, you said to keep it very casual and ask them, you know, why they came. If you happen to have a really quiet group that doesn't want to expand or give much information, have you led with your story, or do you tend not to go there at all? Because I think they want to hear it. Oh,
absolutely. I use my story.
Okay.
My story and everybody else that I can think of that's going to connect with them. And that's that's very, very good. Yes. Always, if they are uncomfortable, just talk about yourself. You know, talk about what they need to hear, what Beachbody's done for you and why you chose it. Like for me, a lot of what I say is pretty much the same because it's just my story. I mean, when I first started, I looked at Herbalife. You'll probably get people ask about other products and programs, but I looked at Herbalife and I looked at Advocare and I looked at Beachbody. Those were the three biggies. Thrive was not around. Plexus was not around. There's another one, but they weren't around 3+ years ago. And I looked at those and I said, the reason why I chose Beachbody is because Beachbody was the total package, and it's 100% natural. I don't have to feel bad about drinking that shake every day, and I tell them that, and people are going to know if you're sincere. And that's what's the beauty about face-to-face, and that's what convinces or it won't convince somebody, because they're going to know if you're sincere or not. But when I go back in my mind and I think back to 3 years ago when Jessica and I joined that Insanity Challenge group, I use my story. And if it's somebody that's like having a thyroid problem, or like today I have a group that's paleo-based clean eating. And this other lady she's just trying to focus on eating clean, period. And she was really intimidated with our conversation about cutting out grains and all that. And I told her, I said, for you're going to start with a 21-day fix. That's where you need to begin. You don't need to think she's doing good to cut out soda. It's one of those, she's just got to, I reassured her, this is going to be a process. You're not, what we're doing over here, the lady who lost 159 pounds, she's ready to move on. And that's what I eventually want you to do. But it's a process. And I would give examples of other clients that I've worked with, over time, and what they've done with me in doing different programs, so that people could understand that, I didn't do Insanity and stop. I kept going. I did PIO, I did Turbo Fire, I did the Ultimate Reset. I've done Body Beast. You know what I mean? I tell them, I've done these other programs to keep going, and I'm an instructor and I teach, and so they understand that it's not a one and done thing. It's not a quick fix, kind of thing. That we're looking at the long term here. So good questions, y'all. Good questions. Keep asking.
I have a question, Amy.
Yes, ma'am.
So when you set up your events, are you inviting, how we always get random invites from everyone and their mom and sister? Like, how do you set them up so you're not unique, or?
Oh, right.
Caught that. Unique.
Well, it's not a group, right? Y'all are so
the makeup and all the other stuff when people invite you, because that's one thing I haven't done is like set up and invited a lot of people to join in on stuff, but I know other coaches do that. So I'm just curious how you do it and how you like doing that.
What's it? It's an event. Is there a difference between an event invite and what the others are? It's the event.
Yeah, I get invited to events and I get thrown into groups.
Okay, well, this is an event. I didn't do a group. It's an event. And I don't know that I make it any different than anybody else.
Okay. So you just go and invite like local people that you know.
Oh, local, yeah. Mm-hmm. At this point, local people, yeah. Whenever I was really new, it was more people. I could segregate it into like I was part of a mom's group, so I'd invite all of them, like if it's a play date, because I knew that they were all stay-at-home moms. So that would be that group, But now I'm 100% cold market. If you want to use a technical term, I don't have, I'm well over 3 years into coaching, so I don't have, it's not my circle of friends anymore. I'm having to, like I said, except for one lady who's in my class who came today, everybody else was complete strangers. The other 4 ladies were complete strangers coming to my house.
And how did they get invited? It was just through word of mouth, through a friend of a friend, or?
I posted in.
Okay, you posted on your feed, and they saw.
Yep, in the groups, the little like local moms groups.
Okay.
local play date moms. There might be 300 ladies in there. There might be another group has like a couple of thousand in there.
Okay.
And whoever replies there. And then I just added people that I know locally. I probably had 60 or 70 people.
That you
And
invited in your group that you invited.
Right. Yep.
What do you call it then?
I called it chit chat this time.
Okay. If you don't want to call it shake and share, because I would be like, what is that?
Yeah, I don't call it shake and share. No. One time I called it, I did a wine and wellness because it was on a Friday night or Thursday night or something like that. So we had some wine, and you could do, just twist it up and make it however you want. That's why I said kind of make it light and fun, and that way it's less intimidating.
So I have a question kind of to piggyback on what Nicole said, and I don't want to cut Nicole off. I don't know if you were done, but when you create the Facebook invite, right, or the Facebook event,
event.
And so you said, for example, you maybe had 70 women on this Facebook event, and you had like 6 that showed up, and that's okay, right? Like, that's pretty normal?
Oh, that's solid. I love it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I've had very rare have I had 0 show up. One time I had 12. That was the most. But that was very warm. That was some Girl Scout moms and moms group moms. Yeah, they kind of knew me. So more showed up then. And that's why I say encourage people to bring a friend, because they might feel more comfortable bringing a friend. And especially if they don't know you personally. But I think a lot of people, locally now, what happened, this is why putting on your timeline is so important every day, because people who don't know you will stalk you. And it used to totally unnerve me when people would walk up to me and I had no clue who they were, like I'm at the gym or something, and they're like, oh my God, I feel like I know you. And I think in my head, score, because that means I'm doing a good job of posting on my Facebook page, and they feel like they can relate to me, that I'm real, that I'm a real person, yet it's all technology, so that when they meet me, they know something about me, they feel comfortable, they know I'm a mom, they know I'm an instructor, they know I'm in health and fitness, and you can just go. So I think when you're working with people that you don't know, like with this event, you have them on your friends list, they see your feeds, they're going to be more comfortable in coming to see you, because you're thinking, why would somebody do that? But you got to remember, if you're doing this right, which if you're putting things out there on your Facebook page, they're going to associate you with health and fitness to begin with. And they're going to see that you're for real, this is not just kind of some floozy, flaky thing that you're doing. You could scroll my news feed and you're going to know, so they think, oh, well, we'll go talk to her, and see what she has to say. She evidently.
So back to the event thing, just because I've never set up an event thing. So it is something that's public, you're posting on your page, on your newsfeed, but you're then inviting specific people to it, but then other people can see it just on your feed.
No, not on the feed, but
okay.
Yeah. And you can control who sees it, if you want it public or not.
Okay.
Yeah. So what else is like that? Groups. When you're setting up a group, and you'll have a name of a group, and you'll say, is it public? Is it secret? Is it private?
Mm-hmm.
The same thing with your events. Can people invite other people? Can only the people see this, who are invited?
Okay.
Yeah. You control all that, when you set it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then what I post on my timeline is you should go look at my timeline. Scroll back to a few days ago, and it says you're invited. That was one of my kind of public invites, had something like, hey, local peeps, if you don't have anything going on Sunday, I'm having a get together. I don't know what I said in there, but anyways. And people see things, even though they don't like it or comment on it, people will see it. And sometimes they'll private message you, or they'll go look for it, Oh yeah, I remember seeing that coming up. Let me go check that out.
Amy, did you say you set it up through your personal page or through your like page, the event?
Personal.
Personal page? Okay.
Yeah. I don't even know if you could do it through a like page.
You can.
Can you? Yeah. Well, learn something new.
I had a quick question. So if you don't, call it shake and share parties, how do they know that that's what's going to be going on, or like how do you write the description? What do they think when they're coming into it?
What did I say? I do have it in there, but I just make it light. Just come get together and chit chat, have a shake. I say, have a shake, have a snack. This time I had have a shake, have a snack, and let's chat. So I mention it, but I don't focus on it, but I also don't hide the fact. I mean, at this point, I always think, why should I hide it? That people can, like, once again, they can look at my timeline. You got to know what I do, and why you're coming, and you could say something about, like, I want to share my story of how I've been able to get healthy and fit, and I want to help you do the same. There's nothing wrong with saying those things. It's going to connect with somebody. You may not connect with everybody, but the whole idea here is to, how do I put this? Like, in my head, like Laura comes to, she and I know each other from my body pump class, but the way I connect with her or people in my group fitness classes is going to be different. It's not the same way I'm going to connect with them. This is a whole nother set. So what if 60 people don't show up? It's these 5. The 5 who came are the ones that I need to connect with in this way. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I don't try to worry about scaring somebody off, because I'm just going to be authentically you, be truthful, be honest, make it fun. I say make it fun because you just don't want people to think you're going to go to a board meeting or something, They want to know that it's going to just be chill and casual, and you don't have to dress up and that sort of thing. But yeah, what's the topic? Yes, Laura.
You want me to tell you what you said?
Please.
Okay. You said, hey, local friends, this Sunday at 2 p.m., and you have the date, you are invited to my house to try some healthy shakes, snacks, and chatting. Totally casual, come and go, chill and chat. Let me know if you want to come. I'll send you my address. I look forward to seeing, I'm looking forward to it. And then just a little picture says you're invited.
There you go. Thank you, Laura.
You're welcome.
Does that help? Okay.
Should I reread it? Anybody want to write it down? Like, for real? Okay.
Oh, I can't hear you, Sherry.
Is that better?
Yep.
Okay. Quick question. Have you done any incentives? Like, if you bring a friend, you can get like a shaker cup or like a free packet of, Shakeology of your favorite flavor or anything like that?
That's a great idea. Nope. I'm so free about whenever I'm just like, yeah, take it. I'm almost afraid to advertise that, because whoever comes, like one lady, she left with 2 samples because she wanted her husband to try it. And I'm just like, yeah, sure, whatever. But no, I've never done that. I think it's a great idea. But I guess I never did it because I was really tight on a budget. I had to watch what I spent. And so I never offered any kind of incentives for that. Now, I have offered incentives, but not for a shake and share. But go for it. Why not?
Question. Have you ever made any like Shakeology, like no bake treats or anything like that?
Yes.
Those go over?
Yep. I've done that. Yep. I've done it all. I mean, I remember like the first few times I went all out and like I bought all this fruit and unsweetened almond milk. I did I just nuts, and I did all this stuff, and I realized I went way overboard because people were really just there to try Shakeology, and I learned to back off and just keep it really simple. But I would say that the biggest hit outside of just trying Shakeology are the Shakeology bars, because they like to see that you can do something else with Shakeology besides drink it. I just get lazy.
I don't blame you. Thank you. That helps. Other questions you guys have for Amy? This is good stuff. I've never hosted one, so I'm soaking this in.
You can ask Amanda. Whenever I saw this in the training back 3 years ago, I was like, so tell me about this. And she's like rolling her eyes like, oh God, no. And I was like, yeah, that's not really my thing. Well, it became my thing because if it works, I mean, great. And that's why I've done it. But would I say like in my head, it's my thing? No, I've just learned to get comfortable with it. Somebody had a question?
Well, I just had a quick question for Amy. I'll put you on the spot. So a lot of our coaches get questions about, they can't afford Shakeology, or, well, that's super expensive. So I want to know, because I've even been getting a lot of these today, and I know what I say, but I'm curious to know what you say when you get that, especially if you tell them in person.
I was going to ask the same thing, Nicole.
I usually do one of two things. If we're talking like a messenger or something back and forth, I usually ask, why do you think it's too expensive? Jeanette taught me that one. Because then I have something to work with, because whatever the reply is, then I can work with it. The objection. Mm-hmm. In person, I don't usually, oh man.
Do they ask about it, the price in person? They're just like,
yeah, I went over it today. And the other second thing I do is I talk about budget. Well, one lady did come in today. She was saying, she was talking about how she's going to transfer all of her pantry food items that she normally buys. And so I talk about budget because I can literally say, I'm a single mom of 3. I know budget, and I still eat healthy and fit. So if I can do it for me and my family, you can too. I said, it's just going to take a different way of you thinking and buying food. So I kid you not, I said, tell me what you eat like for a typical dinner. And she said, they had a lot of food. They had a protein. So we'll say like it was chicken breast, mashed potatoes. There was something green. We'll say green beans, and macaroni and cheese. And I went, and she goes, I know macaroni and cheese is bad. And I don't know why I do that. And so I said, well, let me give you an example of what I do for you as a coach and to help you budget, is that we're going to start replacing that macaroni and cheese with a healthier version of pasta. Okay, so we're going to think about you buying a 99-cent whole wheat pasta. I said, this is what I do for my kids. And I boil it up and I put a little butter, in the pan, and I stir it all up so it's kind of buttery, and I sprinkle Parmesan cheese on it for my kids. And she's like, oh. And I said, and it's cheaper, and it tastes good, and it's healthy. It's a healthier version of what you're eating. Now, yes, could we get healthier? If you've been in this long enough, yes, of course you can. But you got to remember, you got to take these people step by step. And so when you're talking about a budget, I try to give them examples of how this is going to help them. A bag of how much is how much is macaroni and cheese now? Isn't it like $1.99 for one of those boxes? I don't know. Yeah, you're beating it by a little bit by having, by buying a box of whole wheat pasta and doing what I do. But so I try to break it down for them, divide it out by week, take a challenge pack, divide it out by the first month, week. This is how much it is. What is it? 30 something. Okay, yeah, my calculator. I do this all the time. So we'll just say it's a $160 challenge pack. 160 divided by 4 weeks, that's $40 a week. Do you go out to eat? Then they'll go, and I'll say, $40. You probably can drop that in one sitting, right? And they'll, usually can say, yep. I say, well, you're not going to be eating out for this month. Okay, we're not eating out. and you just got to give them, you've got to give them those numbers and figures to wrap their head around. One lady said when she opposed me and I had budgeted it out for her, like especially month 2 with Shakeology, she came back and she said, that's like less than a tank of gas. I don't know what I'm thinking. Yes, I can do this, and sometimes if you just get the wheels turning on the budget and how they fit this into their weekly budget, they come around. So that one takes a little more time, but those are the 2 things that I use.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. I'd rather them come back and tell me they can't afford it. Give me something. It's the crickets. Oh my God, I hate crickets.
One today, she's like, this program is just not for me. And I'm like, I'm curious, why isn't it for you? And she's like, the shake. And I'm like, I had sent her a bunch of information and I'm like, well, I'll deal with you later. But usually when it comes back, it's not the shake, it's not the money. It's a lot of times it's people don't want to invest in themselves or they have other things. Because honestly, if people really wanted to get healthy and fit, there's so many free resources out there, they would already be there. So the value is in the accountability, and Shakeology is a way to get in that daily dose of dense nutrition and help them in ways that they don't understand. But we have to get to their why first. So
right.
I didn't go off on her because I was in a spot to not do that. And I never go off. I'm always really, really nice. But I want to ask,
I'm sure,
questions.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's connecting.
I just had too many of those today.
Yeah, it's that connection. They're buying into you, and I even told them that. You could have another coach. There's lots of coaches out there, But of course, I want you to be with me, but I want you to feel comfortable with me too, because it's not going to work for you, and it's not going to work for me, unless there's that comfort level.
Yeah. But the breaking it down by week, I think, is helpful too for those people.
I think it is too. Because we all spend $4 to $5 a pop on all sorts of things that are not healthy for us.
All the time. And you've got to get them to think about it that way.
Right.
And they're going to be spending their money on healthy foods. They're going to be more satisfied. I loved it when this one lady that was here today who lost 159 pounds, she was saying a lot of things that I didn't have to, because she was like, oh, the lady would come up like, I don't know about eating these. She's looking at those containers. I don't know if that's going to be enough food. She goes, without me even saying anything, she said, when you're eating fruits and vegetables, you're more satisfied. You feel more full and you don't feel guilty. She said you could eat a big old salad and you don't feel guilty. But if you ate a big old, plate of pasta with, meat and everything, not only do you feel bad, but you feel physically bad, but you feel guilty for eating it. And she said, that's gone when you're eating healthy. And I was like, thank you. You're making my job so much easier.
You should be a coach.
I'm working on it.
Tracy.
Okay, just in that kind of thought process, I have had a lot of people say, well, let me check with my husband. Does anybody else ever have that? And I actually just had a shake and share at my house last weekend. I did call it a shake and share. It was my first time, but now I've got some really good ideas from you for different names. I actually had a challenger come. She loves Shakeology, and she said to the other ladies when they said, let me check with my husband, she said, does your husband play golf? how much money does he spend on a round of golf? And I was like, you are awesome. That is such a great analogy to use. So that's good ammo for everybody.
Right on.
I love that.
Right on. Well, and for me personally, whenever somebody says check with her husband, I do wait and pause, because I was, once again, I always think about the relationship I was in, and even whenever I asked for a long time to get to do a challenge with Amanda, and it was always no, and I didn't want to piss him off, right? Until I got to I was trying everything and it wasn't working, and I just did it. I just bought it. And he was mad. And I said, listen, give me 3 months. If in 3 months you don't see any results, it was my motivation. I was like, if in 3 months you don't see any results and there's nothing, then I'll quit and I'll walk away and I'll never ask again. He was like, fine, but he was mad. I mean, we argued badly about it. So I do try to be respecting of that, because you just never know. Nobody knew what kind of relationship I was in. I kept it very hidden, very secret. But I also know that a lot of people that's just kind of their scapegoat. Oh, which I want to say, people always want outs. They want an out. Another thing that I do, I'm sorry, I'm digressing. Sorry, Jessica, is that some people I have learned want a way out. This lady who was talking so much today, she wants a way out. She's worried about committing to being a coach. She has asked me probably no less than 5 different times, I can really cancel any time and I don't owe anything else, and I said, no, you don't owe anything. I mean, you can cancel anytime. That's it. That's all. Whatever you want to do, just trying to save you money. So if you offer an out to people, then they might be more likely to buy into it. Everybody wants an out. That was a little off topic. Anything else?
I have another question. Is there a time of year that's better? Like, I know summer is super busy for a lot of people. Is there typically a time of year that's good for hosting shaking chairs?
No, like I said, I mean, the last year I have not hosted them because I moved and I'm networking differently where I live now. But I promise, I kid you not, for the first 2 years, I had them every single month up to the month I moved out of my house. And I just, I tried to pick, I will tell you this, I tried to pick the beginning of the month. So like today was the 31st. I mean, it's the end of the month. So end of the month, beginning of the month. Why? Because obviously you want these people, they take, processing time. And some people are ready to go right then, and others may take a week or two before they're going to be mentally ready to commit. And they have to think about it, or they want to ask you questions, or they've got to check with their husband. Whatever. They've got to wait till they get paid. Whatever the case may be, you want to give it that full month, so that you can hopefully get them within the first, 2 to 3 weeks. So I would say I will say time of month is more important than time of year.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. Not to say that you couldn't have it in the middle of the month, but, strategically speaking. What else?
Anyone else have questions?
And I want to appreciate Carissa and Laura, you being on the call, as being on my team. Some others couldn't make it, but these two are rock stars right here on my team. And this is another way that I'm glad y'all could hear this, so that you can do it. Y'all still are working with a very warm market. And if you're working with a warm market, you better, you just get over your hesitations and just do it. Just try it. It'll be more fun than you think.
I'm excited. This was a great call. I hope this was helpful to everybody. Just some great tips. And I think, Amy, I just loved how you talked about people connecting in different ways, you know, and I think a lot of times it's really easy to hide behind a screen and not make that personal connection with people face to face. And, you know, some people they've always wanted to try it and the Shakeology, and you just have no idea, right? So it's cool. I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, and I'll tell you a story. One of the ladies who came here, I actually invited her. She had posted in one of these groups, what do you think about Shakeology? And so there was a thread of, I don't know, 30 or 40 comments. I don't know how many. And I just jumped in there, in on the thread. And there was probably 2 other coaches that were on there. And she came to my Shake and Share to try it. And that tells me something about what I said in the thread. I was sharing the other coaches, I will say they were just real limited in what they were saying. Oh, I'll send you a message, or oh, whatever. I was giving real detailed information. Somebody had asked in the thread, like, how do you mix Shakeology? And I explained what I do. You know, that's free information as a coach, I guess you could say, but people will see that and say, hey, she's willing to help. Hear what she's like. What is she like, you know, once I work with her? And I really think that that's why this lady, Michelle, came. She had started the thread, and she could have gone to the other 2 coaches, but she came to me.
One last thing I'll add too. I know at Summit, I don't remember if it was last year or the year before, but I went to I'm sure Amy, you were there too, but I went to a session that Scotty Hobbs was talking about how he like brings his backpack with his shake and like all his goodies, like shows up at people's doors and is like, let's try a shake. But like, so he like brings his Shake and Share with him. But I think one of his points, which I think is really interesting, is that, you know, when you just send a sample in the mail or drop it off for somebody, which I do, you know, like I'm not saying I don't do that, but, you know, you don't ensure that it's hard to ensure that they actually make it correctly. And any objections that they have, you can't deal with it the same way that you can deal with it right in person when they're sitting in front of you drinking that shake.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot different interaction than sending someone a sample in the mail.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and you're so right, because I've had people drink it and go, ugh, I don't like it. You know, I mean, one of the ladies said it was too sweet. It was chocolate. And so I knew right then to suggest vanilla, which is more bland, or a greenberry, you know, for her. So you're absolutely right. Yeah, you can intervene that way. You know, and I offered to make it. She goes, no, it's okay. I trust you. You know, and I've made different shakes for people. You know, well, let's add some fruit in that and just pour theirs back in there, add a little fruit or some nuts or something. Say, see, you can just do this and try that. Is that any better? You know, you're showing them, you know. I actually connect better with people in person. And so I've had to learn quite the opposite. I've had to learn how to connect with people virtually. That's been what I've had to learn. Still learning.
we're all still learning, right?
Yeah. Who's all going to Summit in here? Yep. Ah, yay. Well, I'm going to see you guys.
Yay. Get to give you a big old squeeze in person.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
Can't wait. Who thinks they might be hosting a Shake and Share at some point in the future?
Everybody, do it.
Awesome. Well, Amy, we are so grateful that you took the time out of your busy day with your kiddo's birthday and everything to talk to us. Does anybody have any last questions before I let her go so we can all get to bed? This was great information. I took a bunch of notes. I just thank you so much.
Good. Anytime. It was an honor and a pleasure. Appreciate it, Jessica. You got a rocking team here.
I do have a rocking team. These
Yes,
ladies
you
are
do.
amazing. So give Amy a round of applause, and thank you so much. And we'll just, expect to hear from us on how our shake and shares go.
Yes, I want to know. I'm going to be bugging Jessica because I want to hear how it went.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.